the three-point line. Valpo scored 62 points, which is above their average, and shot 50% from three the last time out. And they've got to win the points in the paint battle. The Bears averaged 31 points per game from points in the paint. And then Valparaiso, they have got to score with consistency. No long scoring droughts. They had one of more than 5 minutes against Loyola, and they've got to front and defend the post with help, especially on post-to-guard screens that Valpo switches.
Valpo in the home white, Missouri State in the maroon. Controlled the tip by Missouri State. Let's take a look at the Bears starting lineup. Production of Allegiance Credit Union, proud supporter of Valpo Athletics, Northwest Indiana's choice for personal financial services since 1966. There you see the starting lineup. 3 players in double figures for the Missouri State Bears coming into tonight. From the elbow, the jumper no good by Mariah White. Rebound by Valpo. Let's take a look at the Beacon starting lineup. Shea Frederick running the point for the Beacon. She's one of 3 1,000-point scorers on this club. There you see the starting lineup for Valparaiso. Leah Ernest off to a nice start in conference play back in January, Coach, and she continues to shine.
And Leah Ernest has been a great addition to this starting lineup, and that way they're able to bring Grace White and Carrie Wyman off the bench. Shot
no good by Frederick. Rebound by the Bears. No score as we approach the 1-minute mark into this one. Jumper off the baseline by Jackson is up and good. The senior out of Little Rock comes in averaging 13 and 7 a night, puts Missouri State on the board 1 minute into this one.
Right, last time out, 31 points. That's something that Valpo has got to do, is get in front of Jackson at 6'3". She is an imposing force on the post.
Yeah, you're going to see an outstanding defensive team as well tonight, Coach. 11th best defensive team in the nation. Under 54 points a game they give up, and they're number 1 in the Missouri Valley.
And that's what we were talking about earlier in my keys. Valpo scored 62 points against them. They only give up 53 a game, and like you said, 11th in the country.
Van Kempen and Valpo with the basketball off the inbound. Frederick has it now for Valpo. Shea Frederick playing with a sleeve on that left knee, banged it up earlier last week, and with 3 to shoot. Caitlin Morrison with the runner up off the window. That's no good. Jackson with a rebound for Missouri State.
Yeah, Missouri State early on getting in the face of the three-point perimeter shooters, and then they go up 5-0 quickly.
Yeah, speaking of 3, Maya Binhar, the senior out of Oswego, Oklahoma, had 10 versus Northern Iowa, 14th in the conference, I should say in the nation. In NCAA assisted turnover ratio as Caitlin Morrison connects for 3, and the Beacons are on the board.
Well, definitely need Morrison's prowess at the three-point line, and Olivia Brown had 21 points against them the first time in Springfield.
Bears have the basketball up to Jackson with a good look, no good. There's Van Kempen skying high for the board for Valpo.
Van Kempen, great defender too. She got in the front of Jackson, was able to also get the rebound.
2-point lead early on this one. Again, it's Morrison. That's going to be short. Rebound by Binhar of Missouri State.
Got a great look by Morrison. She's got to be able to knock the great majority of those down.
She'll head to the line to shoot 2. As the personal foul will be charged to Shea Frederick. 10th meeting all time. Missouri State has won the prior 9 matches, Coach, between these 2 clubs. They've only met 1 time since Valpo joined the Missouri Valley Conference, I should say. You know, and the last time these 2 clubs met back in January, early January, down in Springfield, it was a 12-point victory for Missouri State. This Bears club, a very, very good club coming in.
Yeah, and they've had to replace some really key components with a couple injuries, but they've been able to, be able to overcome those, and obviously playing for possibly a first-place finish.
You know, you saw that last note where it said that the last 3 meetings have ended by 12 points or less, and as we said, Missouri State winning the prior 9 games, but the games have been very close, and as we said, 12-point victory for Missouri State last time these 2 teams met, yet Valpo shot 50% from 3.
Right, and they were able to score 62 points, which is well, it's not well above their average, but it is above their scoring average.
Off the miss, here's Frederick on the push now for Valpo in the front court. She'll take it off the stutter step move. Her floater up off the window is up and good. Shea Frederick, the senior, with the bucket. Coming in averaging 12 points per night. Gives Valpo the lead early on.
Yeah, and this is something that Valpo has got to do, is be able to continue to score the ball, because obviously you can't go 5.5 minutes with this explosive Missouri State team and be able to maybe win the game.
White on top now. Binhar works with the basketball with 8 to shoot. She'll take that screen from Jackson. Looks for Wilson, loses the handle. Brown has it. Olivia to the bucket, runner up off the window. It goes, and she shoots one.
The one thing that Missouri State defensively isn't doing that Loyola did was they were very physical with Valpo's drives, and you can see through contact Brown was able to finish and score the basketball, and she gets an and one.
A couple of 1,000-point scores check in now for Valparaiso as Grace White sees her first action tonight. She wears number 1. Also Carrie Wyman into the game for Valpo as well, wearing number 15. As the shot is up and good by Olivia Brown. Beacons doubling up Missouri State early on in this one. Brown with 5 of the 10 points thus far for Valpo.
That was huge for Valpo to get this lead and be able to defend here. And you notice that they're probably going to ball screen up. Oh, actually, their dribble drive right now.
How about the move in the lane and the English up off the window by Calip. She gets the bucket to go. Brice Calip averaging 11 and 5 per game brings Missouri State within 3. And Valpo controls.
Well, Calip, the player of the year last year in the conference, and then they lost Jasmine Franklin, who probably would have been the player of the year this year in the conference.
Frederick on top to Brown. Here's Shea with 5 to shoot. And a reach-in foul coming up against Maya Binhar. The senior picks up the personal. That'll be her first.
Yeah, Valpo much better job already compared to the Loyola game of being able to play through some contact and not get thrown off their path to the basket.
Elise Pitts checks in for Valparaiso. Pitts, the senior out of Aurora. She has it off the inbound. Now finds Weinman. Wyman looking for the bounce pass inside for White. It's lost and controlled by Pitts. Valpo still with 12 seconds to shoot. Stolen away by Wilson. Wilson has her pocket pick, finds it, gets it up on the iron. That's no good. Rebound battled for and controlled by Abigail Jackson. She'll muscle it up and in.
Yeah, Jackson's been just a force. She's had to learn on the fly after Franklin and Abby Hip got hurt. That's 6'2" and 6'2" that were injured early in the season.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 4:52 to go here. First quarter action early on. Beacons up 1. This is the Valley on ESPN.
You see that? How you can see every delicious speck of sesame, garlic herb, and Parmesan? That is what flavored crust should look like. Crust so irresistible that if pizza could eat pizza, it would be this pizza. Can you imagine how good a pizza would have to be for it to eat itself? Talk about irresistible. Now get an irresistible meal deal for any budget starting at just $5.99.
Hungry?
Howie!
Whether it's buzzer beaters,
Puts one up at the buzzer.
big celebrations, or an electric atmosphere, we've got it all in the Valley. We've got some of the best. We mean the best.
Women's basketball in the nation.
And the postseason starts here.
At Hoops in the Heartland. We'll see you in the Quad Cities.
Visit MVCQuadCities.com for ticket information.
You work hard to take care of your home. Save money and time on your next home improvement project. Apply for a low-rate home equity loan or line of credit from Allegis Credit Union. Applying for a loan is easy with Allegis. Visit allegis.org to apply online. Our team will move you through the application process so you can get to work on your project. Visit allegis.org to learn more. Allegis Credit Union, working hard for Northwest Indiana since 1966.
In thy light, we see light.
Light has always been core to who we are at Valpo.
Now, as we enter the next era for Valparaiso University, we are proud to say,
we are Valpo, we are beacons.
Beacons are signs of hope.
Beacons lead the way for others.
Beacons serve others around them.
Beacons guide us through the darkness.
We are beacons.
We are beacons.
We are beacons.
We are beacons.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Beacons up 1 early on in this one. You know, Coach, we talked about how valuable Shea Frederick is to this program. You can see she's 8th all-time in program history and career scoring. Look at her dimes this year, 134 of them, most since 2000, and 7th most, highest, I should say, in single-season program history. And she still has another year.
Right, and she leads the league for the second year in a row in assists per game. Hasn't happened for quite a while, and she's hoping to finish off the season with that statistic.
After the timeout, Missouri State with the basketball, down 1. Calip now finds Paige Rocca, who's checked in. She wears number 22. Again, here's Calip. She'll leave it in that left corner off the lob for Binhar. They pound it inside for Jackson. We've got a whistle and a foul on the floor against the Beacons, and I think it's going to be Olivia Brown getting the personal.
Well, between Brown and Van Keppen, they're really trying to get Abby Jackson in the front, so that they can't alley-oop it over, plus the help. So they're double-teaming her inside. You can see that's another reason why Van Kempen's in. She's 6'2", and they've got some height down there, obviously. And Valparaiso forced a turnover and retain the lead with the basketball.
Turnover number 3 here in the opening quarter for Missouri State. Valpo with a couple of turnovers early on in this one of their own. Here's Grace White, pump fakes to the deck. Now Pitts. And she traveled with it.
Well, that indecision just created that travel. I'm not sure Pitts shouldn't have just let that one go, especially to be able to break down defensively the Bears early on from the three-point line would be vital for Valparaiso.
Mariah White back in now for Missouri State. Bears down 1. They work with the basketball in the maroon uniforms. Missouri State coming in 22-5, 13-3 in the conference, and it's because of that young lady right there, Brice Calip, who heads to the line to shoot a couple. Calip, folks, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 14 versus Indiana State and Bradley. School record for games played. This is 120 games in her career here tonight. Last time these clubs met, Coach, she had 18-7 down in Springfield.
Yeah, and she's been, Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year last year. She just everything. She's double-digit points per game, 13 out of the last 19 games, and plus she gets the ball inside to the bigger players, especially Abigail Jackson.
Shooting 78% from the line on the year, hits them both. Bears regain the lead. 1-point advantage for Missouri State. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Brown goes baseline, shut up by Jackson. Looking for a teammate. Finds Pitts. Her floater is blocked by Jackson and controlled by the Bears. And Sydney Wilson. That's the one thing Jackson does, Coach. You can be aggressive in the passing lane because you've got a 6'3" body who can block shots in the middle.
Absolutely. She's 59 blocks on the season, 60 now, and she's a force to be reckoned with, especially inside.
Pitts directs traffic for Mary Evans and company. Approaching the 3-minute mark here in the first quarter. Wyman kicks it out. Grace White, her Rainbow J, no good. Rebound again by Jackson. Abigail Jackson, couple of rebounds last 2 trips down with a block as well. She works with it. She'll stop and pop. That's going to be too strong. There's Wyman on the push for Valpo.
They certainly like to have Abigail Jackson shooting a 10-foot jump shot instead of on the block back to the basket.
Van Kempen back to Pitts. Nice pump fake. On the blow-by, she's going to be bumped out of bounds. The ball rolls out of bounds. It's going to stick with Valpo, and at least Pitts looking for a whistle. Shea Frederick, Caitlin Morrison back in. You can see right here. Beacons retain possession. Also in for Valparaiso for the first time tonight, Lauren Gunn, the sophomore out of Fishers, Indiana.
Yeah, Naya Achakwu just came in for Jackson as well, and you just replace 6'3" with 6'3", so they don't lose any height inside.
3 to shoot. Wyman's shot is blocked in a shot clock violation. That's a turnover by the Beacons. That's their 4th. And off that block shot, it's going to go back to Missouri State as Binhar re-enters for Missouri State.
I don't think Grace White recognized the shot clock violation. She just said she was sorry to carry. She should have shot it. Obviously, she can shoot it pretty deep.
Binhar working on White. That's a good matchup. Poked out of bounds. White loses it. Mariah White gives it back to Valpo, and Missouri State up 1, 2:21 to go. An entertaining first quarter. Bears in the middle of a 6-0 run, Coach, and for Valpo, 4 turnovers in the last 3:50.
Right, and yeah, Valpo's got to be able to. Shea Frederick back in the game, the playmaker, obviously assist dime giver as well. So
White has her pocket pick. Here's Calip on the run out. Numbers for Missouri State if they hurry. She'll take it into the lane. Shot is blocked by Morrison off the spin move. Calip's going to head to the line as Grace White going to get it.
Boy, I thought Valpo did a really good job of getting back defensively. They had 3 white jerseys inside, but if Morrison comes over top, they're going to call that on White.
Grace White with her first coach. She needs to stay out of foul trouble tonight.
Right. Yeah, I mean, to compete inside, especially if you're trying to front the post with help, you've got to have some size on the court. And Grace White, your leading rebounder as well.
Calip hits the first. She gets another. And she hits them both. Give her 6 on the evening. 3-point advantage for Missouri State as we go back and forth early on in this one. Weinman with it. They run that low clear out for her. And a reach-in foul as it's going to be Naya Wachaku picking up the personal. Wachaku, the junior forward out of Nigeria.
Yeah, Wachaku get kind of matched up on Weinman and a little bit of a mismatch as far as quickness goes. Weinman able to draw the foul on Wachaku, which is just the 3rd foul for the Bears.
I look for Valpo to possibly pull her away from the basket. She's another one, she can block shots, she can rebound. Had 15 boards versus Bradley.
Yeah, Valpo playing a 5-out game right now, so they are trying to pull her away from the basket.
Frederick with a nice pump fake off the blow by a foul against Missouri State.
I think it was a good slip by Frederick to get in the back door, and they lost her, and then Roca catches her on the arm.
That breaks a scoring drought of nearly 5 minutes for Valparaiso.
Yeah, Valpo fortunate. 5.5 minute scoring drought against Loyola put them in a deep hole. This time Valpo able to stem the storm really and hold them off defensively.
4 now for Frederick. 1-point advantage for Missouri State. 1:20 to go here in the quarter. There's Calip. She'll turn the corner. Long 3 there taken by Paige Rocca. That's no good. Volleyball around. Binhar has it off the miss by Missouri State. Rocca again working with it. Now to Calip.
The length of
right.
Wachaku just, I mean, Gunn had position. It just the length of her, just the long arms tipped it away.
Calip from the elbow. Battle underneath. Binhar comes out of there with it once again for Missouri State. They'll set the shot clock to 20. Rocca has it. On top, Wilson in the corner to Calip. Line drive 3, and that's going to be up and good. Calip now with 9. That's her first triple of the night.
Yeah, and Valpo just, just give them 3 opportunities to be able to score the basketball. They're going to score. I mean, this program, this proud program, went to the Sweet 16 last year.
16 seconds remaining in the quarter. Valpo get a hold for 1. They'll get it to begin the second quarter as well. So a time for a run here possibly for Valpo, Coach.
Yeah, you break into this 4-point lead. You don't want to lose too much contact with the other team right now. And they're giving it back with a second to go. But like you said, Valpo retains possession in the second quarter.
It's been an entertaining first quarter here inside the Arc on the campus of Valparaiso University. Beacons down 4, second quarter action coming up. You're watching The Valley on ESPN.
Points off, second chance points, 5-0, and that's the difference in the game right now for Missouri State.
You saw the 2 coaches. Amaka Gugwa Hamilton now in her 3rd season for Missouri State, and Mary Evans now in her 4th. Both doing a nice job. Coach Hamilton had this club last year in the NCAA tournament. A very talented club, playing without the services, coach, as you know, of Jasmine Franklin out with that torn ACL. She might be one of the best players, if not the top 2 in the Missouri Valley.
Yeah, she won the first 3 weeks Player of the Week prior to getting injured, and the last time she won was December 1st, and she got injured in December.
On the run out off the miss, here's Wyman for Valpo. She loses the handle, body's on the floor. It's controlled by Binhar of Missouri State. That's a turnover you can live with if you're Mary Evans. That's just a hustle turnover.
Sure, and she's making an attempt to make something happen. It's not like she threw it away and gave up a layup.
Right. Caleb leads it in the corner. Now they look inside for Jackson. Good defense inside by Caitlin Morrison. Morrison with her length is able to deflect that pass and force the turnover. That's number 5 for Missouri State.
I think Valpo's doing a fantastic job of fronting the post, and that's what they needed to do. They can't be able to get pinned on the backside and give up easy baskets, getting buried inside off the block.
Frederick on top, wide open three. He's up in good shape. Frederick dialing up long distance. That's her first 3 of the night. Beacons take the 1-point lead. That's our 3rd change early on in this one.
Yeah, Valpo's got to be able to vary that. And of course, everybody on the floor right now for Valpo can hit the 3. And that really spreads out the Bears' defense.
Binhar looking inside. Another turnover by Missouri State. Here comes Olivia Brown back in now for Valpo.
I think you're going to see some people get a lot more playing time than normal, i.e. Lauren Gunn, also Caitlin Morrison, because of their length.
Right.
Because defensively they need that length inside.
8.5 to go here in the first half. Beacons trying to stretch out this 1-point advantage here early on in the second quarter. Gunn right back to Shea. Looking for Brown. They throw it out of bounds.
No
7th
harm.
miscue, Coach.
No harm, no foul, though. It's a dead ball, and they have to take it out. But still, you gave up an opportunity to score the basketball with a 1-point lead.
Yeah, you got to value possessions against a club like Missouri State. Bears coming in averaging 66 points per game. They allow just under 54. Lob inside. Jackson with the left hand. She can't get it to drop. Battled underneath. Bears will hang on to it.
Well, that time the entry pass came from the top of the key, and that's tough because she never did get in front. Yeah, Morrison was fighting around to get in front, but there's no help because when the pass comes from the top, where do you help from?
Yeah, you can't come underneath the baseline. A lob off the inbound. There's Jackson. Can't get that one to drop. Caleb had it, and she stepped on the baseline, so Valpo takes back possession. You know, we talked about it in the outset, Coach, and I think you'll agree with me. For Valpo, obviously you've got a game here tonight. SIU comes to town on Saturday. You're looking at the 2 top teams in the conference as of this moment. Next week comes postseason conference tournament action. For Valparaiso, your mindset has to be our tournament starts tonight.
No question. And the 3 teams that they play at the end of the season this year are the top 3 defensive teams in the conference.
Absolutely. Here's Frederick now for Valpo in the front court. Gets it to White. Grace looking inside, finds Gunn. Good ball movement by the Beacons.
At that time, if Gunn would have gone left, she could have had a layup, but she went to her right shoulder.
Good patience by Valpo. Here's Grace. Loses the handle, and a whistle, and a foul against Missouri State, and a break for Valpo.
Yeah, it was a near shot clock violation, although White looked like she was going up to shoot the ball at the buzzer, but she got grabbed on the arm and was able to take it out of bounds now with a fresh shot clock.
Official Mark Berger making the call. Mark Berger started out as a high school official in Indiana.
Yes, he did. I've had him a couple times. It's been a while. He's been a Division I official, and a good one for at least 10 years.
Off the inbound. Shea working with it. A little clear out here for it. Now to Grace. She'll take it to the glass. Right-hand runner can't finish. Caleb has it from Missouri State. 1-point lead for the Beacons coming up on the 7-minute mark left here in the first half. Valpo shooting 43% from the floor. Valpo with a 1-point lead here. Off the mid-range jumper, Caleb connects.
Now that time, no ball screen for Caleb, so she just took Frederick to the hole, jump shot right over top of her for the score, but Valpo continues to pay attention to the inside presence of Jackson.
Gunn can't get it to go, looking for the foul. No good. Rebound by Missouri State. Here's Binhar and company on the push. Isabel Delarose checked in. Her shot is no good. She gets it back now for Missouri State.
Yeah, Valpo will settle for those 15-foot jumpers for sure, and I'm not sure what's happening.
Stoppage of play.
Malfunction.
I believe Jennifer Eze comes out of the game. You see right there. I think she might have took a shot off the lip, possibly.
Yeah, maybe the trainer is attending to her, so you might be right.
Maya Dunson now in for Valpo. Dunson getting some quality minutes as of late at 13-7 versus Indiana State. Much more confidence with the basketball.
Yeah, she's one that can get hot from the three-point line as well. She was 3 for 3 against Indiana State. That was a big win for Valparaiso.
With 2 to shoot, Calip going to try to muscle her way to the bucket. Her fall away, Jay, no good. Morrison with a board. Good stop for Valpo right there.
Oh, wow, a double team against Morrison, unable to get the ball out, throws it away.
Now Binhar launches that one. That's no good, but an offensive rebound, and the shot is no good right time by Rocca. And Valpo coming out of there with it, a break for Valpo.
Yeah, and that's where Maya Dunson really helps Valpo. She's physical inside. She can rebound the basketball as well as shoot the three.
And Dunson's three is wide left. Calip on the push. A little bit quick of a shot right there for Valpo.
Yeah, I think Valpo probably would have wanted that one back, maybe work it a little bit. Did Dunson just get off the bench, too? You know, no warm-up yet into the game.
Both clubs struggling a little bit here in the second quarter shooting the basketball. Missouri State 0 for their last 4, and Valpo hasn't scored in over 3 minutes.
Valpo fortunate to just be down one because but defensively they've done a really good job of challenging all shots and not getting touches in the paint.
Missouri State 0 for 5 now off the miss right there by Calip. Halfway home here in the second quarter, Beacons with a 1-point advantage. Grace looking for a teammate. She'll step back and let it rip. And that's short. And again, back-to-back possessions with not real good shots.
Not a lot of movement. They're just 5 on the perimeter that time for Valpo. I'm not sure what they were looking for. Maybe going to hold the ball.
Timeout on the floor at 4:50 to go in the half. Missouri State up 1. This is the Valley on ESPN.
People assume these photo shoots are easy.
Just like they assume they can't afford great insurance. But State Farm has rates that fit any budget.
What? Can I get a profile? All in the core.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
We all want to be part of something bigger, to go beyond the expected and discover something truly exceptional, to tap into the energy of a movement that moves society forward. Valpo is the place for those who strive for a better world. Here you can be part of something bigger without losing yourself in the crowd. And as you grow in every aspect of your life, personal, professional, and spiritual, you'll discover that making the world a better place isn't wishful thinking. It's what we do. Think of the world you want to live in. Then come to Valpo and build it.
Since 1907, we've been One Valley, breaking down recruitment barriers, hiring coaches to lead our programs, and developing the country's next set of leaders. MVC student athletes are positively impacting the communities where they live by sharing views and fostering a climate for change for future Valley pioneers. To learn more about mobilizing voices for change, visit nvc-sports.com/OneValley.
It's human nature to look forward to the little things, the big things, things that take your breath away. And to keep you moving forward, Northwest Health is here to be your health partner. We are 3,000 caregivers across 40 locations, helping you stay strong. And if life takes a turn for the worse, we'll be here to help you look forward again, to living well now and more time with the ones you love. Northwest Health. Look forward.
You work hard to take care of your home. Save money and time on your next home improvement project. Apply for a low-rate home equity loan or line of credit from Allegis Credit Union. Applying for a loan is easy with Allegis. Visit allegis.org to apply online. Our team will move you through the application process so you can get to work on your project. Visit allegis.org to learn more. Allegis Credit Union, working hard for Northwest Indiana since 1966.
You know, everybody talks about Brice Calip and her success over the course of her time, but I'll tell you what, Coach, Abby Jackson, how about this? It's career high 31 versus Evansville this past Thursday. That's the first time you've seen 30-plus by a Lady Bear since Lisa Front did it back in 2018. As you can see, she had 33 in that ball game. That came against Valpo, by the way, and Maya Binhar doing a nice job handing off the basketball. Her 11 assists versus Evansville, the highest total in the program since back in 2009. And for Jackson, Coach, she has 98 points in the last 5 games.
Right, and she's had 6 games in a row of 14 or more points, and there's no reason that they're on a 7-game winning streak right now, and she's a big reason why.
And again, they're playing without the services of Jasmine Franklin. She was averaging 15 and 12. She hurt herself back right around the holidays, tore that ACL up. She's done for the season, and I'll tell you what, you want to talk about an outstanding player.
Right, and the only player, well, there's only one other player that averages a double-double, and that's Abby Brockmeyer, and we will see her on Saturday.
Yep, SIU comes to town this Saturday for Senior Day. Off the lob inside, it's going to be Jackson getting called for the bump. So Abby Jackson gets the personal. That'll be her first. That is the team's second here in the quarter with 4:28 to play in the first half. Missouri State nursing the 1-point lead.
Valpo doing a fantastic job inside of fronting and helping, and that was a direct result of Jackson's foul. But Valpo unable to score here. Defensively, they've done a super job, but right now they'll be able to score the basketball.
Yeah, each club combined 0 for 10 from the floor. We haven't seen any scoring in the last 4.5, but Grace White lets that fly for 3. That's no good. There's Dunson with the offensive board, and she'll reset it for Valpo.
And she certainly brings physicality that they need to be able to compete inside. Shea Frederick with a steal.
Frederick off the steal, going to reset it now for Valpo. Dunson, the lefty, has the basketball. Flasher inside is Grace White. Shot blocked by Jackson from behind, her second swat of the first half. And Mariah White leaves it in the left corner. Delarue, the lefty 3 is no good. There's Brown with the basketball and the push for Valpo. Brown taking it right to the bucket. And that shot is out of bounds. Missouri State takes back possession. And I think they're going to check Maya Dunson, possibly. You can see right here in the replay. I think Brown was looking for the contact.
A little bit out of control, and just, her leg gave out. There was no foul for sure. We'll see what they're looking at.
Between the two clubs, folks, 0 for their last 14 from the floor.
It's a defensive battle, that's for sure, of two teams that know each other well.
Yeah, no doubt. 10th meeting all time. Missouri State owning the prior 9 victories, most recently back in January. That was a 12-point win down in Springfield. The stop and pop by White is up and good. That breaks that streak. Mariah White on board, the senior out of Toledo, averaging 9 and 3. Had 21 versus Illinois State. Gives Missouri State the 3-point lead. Frederick and company with the basketball. Valpo trying to break that scoring drought of their own. Valpo been forced to really work the perimeter here today, Coach.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, I was going to say that was a clear out by Brown. A lot of standing around on the 3-point line, not kind of unsure of where the next screen should be. If you see, there's 5 people standing at the perimeter after Van Kempen goes up, and you can see she released her arm and gets called for the foul.
So Brown with the personal foul. That's her second, team number 1 here in the quarter. Bears have it, working from left to right on your screen in the maroon uniforms.
Valpo in the half court has done a really good job. I mean, they're just giving up, 15-foot jumpers, and you have to give up something. That's what you want to give up. You don't want to allow them to get to the rim nor shoot the 3.
Grace White with her second personal. Mary Evans going to have to go to her bench as Kerry Weinman will re-enter, and that's what we talked about. You don't want to see White in foul trouble.
Right, and you talk about Brown as well. Brown had 22 points or 21 points against them the last time, and now she has 2 fouls as well.
So to the line goes Mariah White, senior out of Toledo, at 11 versus Northern Iowa. She shoots 65% from the line and drills the first. This club shooting 74% as a team from the stripe.
Yeah, what a club of just veterans. I mean, you're talking Jackson's a senior, Calip is a senior, Eza is a redshirt sophomore, but White's a senior, Wilson's a senior, Binhar's a senior. So you've got a lot of veterans out there right now for the Bears.
Van Kempen comes and gets it now for Valpo. Now to Dunson. And she traveled with it. You know, Coach, you mentioned the seniors on the roster for Missouri State. Valpo with 3 seniors officially. You know, Shea Frederick is senior, but she's coming back for next year.
Sure.
And I think it just goes to show you, and you're probably going to agree with me on this, over the next couple of years, you're going to see this conference even elevate even further across the country in terms of respect, because this is going to become an older conference in terms of players.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of really young players that are contributing great minutes. And then we're just going to see, I think Jackson just picked up another foul. Valpo has just blanketed Jackson inside, and really, they're going to take away the post. That's what they decided to do. They give up the mid-range jumper, and they take away the post, and that's a fantastic job by Valparaiso.
Stay tuned for our halftime report, a presentation of IBEW, proud supporter of Valpo Athletics, for renewable energy in your home and office, including electric vehicle chargers and solar power solutions. Trust the electrical professionals of Powering America. We'll have stats, highlights, and the analysis of the Hall of Famer Renee Turpa. That's coming up at the break. And a nice move inside right there by Wyman, and Valpo gets on the board.
And Valpo once again able to be able to get to the bucket, and that's what they need to do.
Off the miss. Missouri State has the basketball. Calip finds it for the Bears. 1:14 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, once again, Valpo gives up an offensive rebound, but a great defensive play by Carrie Weinman to challenge that shot in the paint.
The stop and pop from the baseline, short. Offensive board by Wachaku. Her putback isn't there. There's Dunson snatching up the board for Valpo.
They've shoved the Wachaku off to the baseline, again, giving her maybe an 8-foot jump shot versus a back-to-the-basket post move.
Leah Ernest back in now. She has it for Valpo. To Dunson. 10 to shoot. Shea on the scoop, poked out of bounds. With 8 to shoot, Beacon's going to get it back.
Yeah, Shea saw a path to the basket, which shut down pretty quickly, but able to get the ball back with 8 seconds to go. Valpo is going to take a timeout and make sure this possession is a good one.
30-second timeout taken by Mary Evans and company. There you see your score, 22-19 here with 37.3 seconds left. 10th meeting all time between these two programs. Valpo, coach, 1 for their last 8. Missouri State 1 for their last 11. And, you know, it's been one of those kind of ball games where both clubs known for their intensity and their pressure and their ability to get up and down the floor. And really, in essence, you look at the way things are going in this first half, and I'm not surprised by the score, because you knew it was going to be this kind of game.
Absolutely. And Valpo chooses to take away the inside presence of Jackson and Wachaku, and the Bears choose to take away the three-point line from Valparaiso. And so, you know, it's kind of a bit of a chess match right now, which team can succeed for 4 quarters to do what they've been doing the first 2.
Yeah, you know for a fact that Missouri State knew coming in after that first meeting with these two clubs, where Valpo shot 50% from behind the arc on 11 of 22, they needed to defend the perimeter.
Yes.
Off the inbound, here's Carrie Wyman. Her right-hand floater is too strong. Bears control.
Now, missed opportunity there by Weinman, because they've been able to get to the basket and be able to get shots off through contact, but no fouls.
20 seconds remaining. Shot clock at 15, about a 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Calip angles right with the dribble. Now she'll come back on top with 7. Delarue, the lefty, has it with 4. Calip going to be forced to launch it from 30, and that's going to be short. Caught a piece of the rim, and that'll mark the end of the first half. So both clubs heading to the locker room in what has been an entertaining first half. At the break, Missouri State on top, 22-19. It's the IBEW halftime report. Coming up after, going to get it to begin the second half. Up 3 here tonight. 10th meeting all time between these two programs. Valpo looking for their first win all time versus Missouri State. Last 3 meetings have been pretty good. 12 points or less the difference between Missouri State and Valpo. Beacon's looking for the victory tonight. That would push them over 500 in conference action, with 1 more conference game to go this weekend when the top team in the Missouri Valley, Southern Illinois, comes to town. Second half has begun. We are underway in the first 3 to 4 minutes of this half, Coach. Crucial for both clubs.
Right, and you see what they're going to utilize Jackson as a screener and see if they can get a screen and roll down.
And they get Binhar wide open for 3. That's her 6th point on the night and her 2nd triple of the evening. 6-point lead now for Missouri State early on, second half.
Yeah, 3 for 10. The Bears are from 3-point line, and of course Morrison gets a quick look for Valparaiso, misses that one. Just 2 for 10 for Valpo.
There's Binhar on the push, finds Calip. She'll put it to the deck. Binhar's floater is no good. Jackson battling underneath, and a tie up the arrow gives it back to Valpo.
Now Van Kempen, good job of getting the hand on the ball with Jackson, and Valpo gets the ball back. Now down 6, so Valpo, they don't want to be able to this lead to get too large where they can't come back, because obviously the Bears play fantastic defense. They're not going to give up a run of 5, 6, 7 points in a row.
Yep, Grace White back in. Couple of personal fouls in the first half. Here's Frederick working with the basketball. Shea led the Beacons with 7 points and a couple of assists in that first half. Brown looks to penetrate. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Now here's Shea off the stutter step. And another turnover by Valpo.
Well, that time, I don't know what happened, but there was miscommunication between White and Morrison to see who that pass was to. See, you can see, well, there's Morrison and there's White as well. And I actually think that might have been to White.
Inside Jackson, her power move to the bucket is no good. Offensive board by Wilson. Her putback isn't there. Jackson gets it again, gets it up on the iron. She can't finish. Binhar with the offensive board and a foul on the floor. And it's going to be Grace White. That's number 3.
Yeah, I think that actually
that's
going
to be Olivia Brown.
And that's her third. But if you see that was all created because Morrison never got in front of Jackson to front her. And Jackson ended up keeping the ball alive with a couple offensive rebounds. And then, of course, Brown gets her 3rd foul.
Carrie Weinman in now for Valpo. There's Jackson off the inbound. 98 points in the last 5 games. Binhar with 10 to shoot. Binhar again, her runner with the right hand, no good. White with the board on the weak side for Valparaiso. That's her 2nd rebound on the run out, looking up the floor for Morrison. She throws it away off the errant pass, and it's controlled by Missouri State.
Yeah, that's 2 turnovers in a row by Valparaiso. Turns into just 2 points for the Bears, but now this lead up to 8 for Valpo.
Yeah, Mariah White
for the Bears.
with the bucket. White now on the night. She's got 6. The lead is 8, and that's the biggest, as mentioned by Coach. Weinman. Been quiet scoring the basketball tonight. Only a couple of points on top. Van Kempen, the lefty 3, no good. Came up short. Wilson looking to push now for Missouri State.
Yeah, good look from Van Kempen at the top of the key, but unable to finish.
Calip can't answer. Slapped out of bounds by Jackson. Valpo will take back possession. Lauren Gunn in now for Valpo.
Valpo now had 2.5 minutes without a basket here in the second half. Down 8. It's a pretty big possession for Valparaiso. Pretty early in the 3rd quarter.
Missouri State 1 for their last 7 from the floor. Frederick on the bump, no call. Now Gunn looking to direct traffic. Ripped away.
3 possessions, 3 straight turnovers for Valparaiso.
Binhar elevates, and she drills it. Her 2nd bomb here in the 3rd quarter. Lead up to 11, 6:57 to go.
And 5 of that 11 are from right off of turnovers. Valpo turnovers turn directly into points for the Bears.
White has it now for Valpo. She has yet to score this evening. Now Gunn. To Frederick. Shea going to be bumped, and a foul against Sydney Wilson. Timeout on the floor. We're going to take it with them as you see some scores in the Missouri Valley. Indiana State tonight loses to Northern Iowa by 6. Southern 3rd quarter score. And Drake and Evansville in the 3rd quarter on the final weekend of the regular season in the Missouri Valley Conference. 11-point lead for Missouri State. 6:39 to go with the 3rd quarter. Back after this.
People assume these photo shoots are easy.
Just like they assume they can't afford great insurance. But State Farm has rates that fit any budget.
What? All in the core.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
It's human nature to look forward to the little things, the big things, things that take your breath away. And to keep you moving forward, Northwest Health is here to be your health partner. We are 3,000 caregivers across 40 locations, helping you stay strong. And if life takes a turn for the worse, we'll be here to help you look forward again, to living well now and more time with the ones you love. Northwest Health. Look forward.
You work hard to take care of your home. Save money and time on your next home improvement project. Apply for a low-rate home equity loan or line of credit from Allegis Credit Union. Applying for a loan is easy with Allegis. Visit allegis.org to apply online. Our team will move you through the application process so you can get to work on your project. Visit allegis.org to learn more. Allegis Credit Union, working hard for Northwest Indiana since 1966.
Let's review the Missouri Valley Conference standings. With one game in the books tonight, Northern Iowa with the victory over Indiana State. Northern Iowa now 12-5 in the conference. Indiana State, you see, drops to 5-12. And for Valpo and Missouri State right now, we're here in the third quarter, early on in the third quarter. Southern Illinois coming to town this weekend. So a lot of determination, I guess you could say, coming up in the next game and a half. And I wouldn't be surprised until Saturday night at some time things really shake out because, at the top two spots, especially Missouri State and Southern Illinois, it really depends on these two games here. Southern playing Loyola, of course, Missouri State here. We'll flip-flop for the weekend.
Right.
These are two must-wins for those two clubs.
Yeah, and Valparaiso, if this score holds out, with the Drake win, Valpo and Drake will be tied.
Right.
Valpo winning the tiebreaker, but with one more game to play.
Against the top team in the conference.
Right.
Wyman out of the corner. Book it. Nice shot right there. As Wyman got her feet set. Dials up long distance. Beacon within 8 now as Kerry Wyman has 5. At the other end, there's Calip with the equalizer. Back to double figures. Brice Calip tonight, 14 points. 2 of 4 from behind the arc. Now pitch to the deck. So take the step through up off the window. No good. Jackson had it and lost it. Binhar finds it for Missouri State. Now White will control.
So Missouri State just in the 4 minutes of the third quarter. Jackson misses again. Valpo did a great job. They've made 2 points off of turnovers, 2 points off of points in the paint, 5 points off of turnovers, 5 fast break points, and 2 points in the paint. That's 12 points that Valparaiso's given up, and it's an 11-point game.
Yeah, prior to that last time out, too, Coach, you look at it, Missouri State had 9 shots through the first 3.5 minutes. Valpo had only 2.
With those 3 turnovers, it turned into 5 points for Valpo, and another turnover for Valpo, that it turned into 5 points for the Bears, and then another turnover for Valpo. So this third quarter has not done Valpo well with taking care of the basketball.
Yeah, 16 turnovers now here in the night for Valparaiso. Last time these clubs locked up, Valpo had 21 of them.
Right.
Here's Mariah White. Left side, Binhar elevates for 3, and that's good. Missouri State on fire, folks. Binhar with another bomb. She's got 12, her third triple here in the third quarter.
Yeah, she's 4 for 5 from the 3-point line. So
White has her pocket picked. 17 turnovers now by Valpo.
Yeah, Valpo giving up the ball at will. They've had more turnovers than points, obviously.
So White picks up the personal foul for Valparaiso for Grace White. That's her third. That takes us to a timeout. Maya Duncan and company with some work to do, down 14. Third quarter action. You're watching The Valley on ESPN.
Assuming all NBA players want rings. It's like assuming State Farm doesn't have great rates.
Why do we have coasters if nobody's gonna use them?
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
It's human nature to look forward to the little things, the big things, things that take your breath away. And to keep you moving forward, Northwest Health is here to be your health partner. We are 3,000 caregivers across 40 locations, helping you stay strong. And if life takes a turn for the worse, we'll be here to help you look forward again, to living well now and more time with the ones you love. Northwest Health. Look forward.
You see that? How you can see every delicious speck of sesame, garlic herb, and Parmesan? That is what flavored crust should look like. Crust so irresistible that if pizza could eat pizza, it would be this pizza. Can you imagine how good a pizza would have to be for it to eat itself? Talk about irresistible. Now get an irresistible meal deal for any budget starting at just $5.99.
Hungry?
Howie!
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Brice Calip leading the charge for Missouri State here tonight. 14 points on the night, Coach. 2 of 4 from behind the arc for the senior out of Sapulpa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and she's leading her team, obviously, in many categories, rebounding, assists, etc. And Valparaiso, you can see the 14 points, 4 for 10. She is 2 for 4 from three-point line as well. She was the only player in double figures in the first half, with just 3 in the second half, but she also has 4 assists and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, all-time record at Missouri State for games played as well. At 18-7 the last time Missouri State played the Valparaiso Beacons back in early January, rather. And after the timeout, to the line will be Mariah White for Missouri State as Calip and company looks on here.
And in this second half, just this third quarter alone, Missouri State's gotten 8 points off of Valpo turnovers, 2 points in the paint, and 8 points off of fast breaks. And those were really due to turnovers as well.
First miss tonight from the free throw line for Missouri State, as White gets one more, and she drills it. 15-point lead, largest of the night for Missouri State. Under 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Beacons trailed 22-19 at the end of the first half. But it's a 15-3 run in the first 5.5 minutes of the second half that's been the difference thus far.
It's almost probably 5 minutes since Valpo scored, and she breaks the scoring drought with a nice pass to Caitlin Morris and at the basket.
Leah Ernest with a nice look right there. White at the other end, and one.
Ernest is going to get the foul.
So the personal to Leah Ernest, number 1 for her, team number 3 here in the quarter. And White heads back to the line.
So Valpo's strategy in the first half that worked so well is keeping the ball out of the paint. And they continue to do so, but they're giving up offensive rebounds, and they're allowing the guards to get into to the basket on direct drives, and obviously Valpo just scored 5 points thus far in this quarter.
Yeah, Naya Wachaku with the putback right there. That's her first deuce of the night. Lead up to 17. 3:53 to go here in the third. Brown to the deck. She likes to take it hard to the bucket. That pass ripped away off the turnover. Here come the Bears on the prowl.
6 turnover for Valpo just in this quarter alone. Had 11 at halftime, now 17.
Missouri State going to be patient this trip down. Valpo being out-rebounded, as you see, 31-18 as well. White's floater no good. Wachaku with the putback. Her second straight putback for Nia Wachaku, the junior out of Nigeria. Averages 3 points coming in. She's already bettered her season average.
Well, those second chance points are adding up for the Bears.
How about Shea Frederick right there off the runner? She gets the bucket. Frederick now with 9 on the night. 3 minutes remaining here in the third. Binhart on top. White, they reverse it left side. There's Calip. Calip tonight 14 points to lead everybody. 7 to shoot. Binhart takes that Wachaku screen down the lane. Her shot is partially blocked and controlled by Frederick off the miss.
Yeah, Valpo's actually done a good job in the half court, but they continue to throw the ball away. Nearly another turnover for Valpo.
Brown looking for her teammate. Still time to shoot, only 13 on the shot clock. Now Ernest runs right over a Bear as Mariah White takes the charge, and for Leah Ernest, that's her second personal. That's also a turnover.
Right, that time kind of released her arm a little bit away from the thing. Also lost the ball. Turnover and a foul.
Been a tough third quarter thus far for the Beacons. They've only managed 7 points thus far, being outscored 19-7. Check that, 21-7 here in the third.
7 points and 7 turnovers just in this third quarter alone.
Wilson, backsword cut, and a foul on the floor against Valparaiso.
That might be Leah Ernest's third foul.
Yep, it's going to be Leah Ernest getting number 3.
But 21 points off of turnovers for Missouri State. In the third quarter, Missouri State had 10 points off of turnovers. So 11 points just in the third quarter off of Valparaiso's turnovers.
So Paige Rocket gets that one to drop. That's her first of the night. Sophomore out of Iowa City. Limited time on the season, shooting 71%. We got a lane violation. And a turnover by Missouri State. So the Beacons will take back the basketball. As you see our score, 18-point lead thus far for Missouri State, 2:04 remaining. Third quarter action, Shea Frederick trying to get back in this one for the Beacons. Finds Dunston, and Maya going to be fouled by Missouri State. And it's going to be Wachaku picking up the personal foul.
Let's see, it was passed by Frederick. Oh, just got her feet tangled.
Dunston looking to get it in bounds now for Valparaiso. Finds Frederick. Shea going to penetrate the lane with a scoop. Nice move up and in for Shea Frederick. She's in double figures. Give her 11 on the night. Shea coming in averaging 12 on the evening.
Yeah, Frederick the only Beacon in double figures.
Wilson thought about the 3, now backs down on Ernest. And up off the window, she gets it to go.
Well, that's one way to get it inside. You just back her down, especially if Valpo's not going to help on the post, because you can't leave Calip outside. She's lighting it up from the perimeter.
Here's Gunn. Now to Dunston. Gunn again, hard to the glass. Nice move inside. I'll tell you what, Lauren Gunn, the sophomore out of Fisher, very aggressive with the basketball.
Quick and going right, and nobody
Right.
can stop her getting to the basket.
Under a minute to play here in the third. Calip to the bucket. Give her one. Off the three-point opportunity, Calip gets the hoop. She's got 16 tonight with a chance to pad as Leah Ernest picks up her 4th.
Yeah, that time looked like Ernest was standing still, but she might have been inside the arc, which would give her 4. And 3 of those occurred, I think all 4 might have occurred in the third quarter.
So Brice Calip, as you see, will be at the line. Ernest with 4, White and Brown each with 3 for Valparaiso. And she gets it to drop. She's got 17 this evening. 19-point advantage, as we mentioned, under a minute to go here in the third frame. Brown works with it now. Now to Gunn. Frederick from 25, that's short. Tough position that time for Valpo.
Yeah, and the ball really never left Frederick's hands. It didn't touch anybody else, and so there was no movement offensively to be able to maybe pass the ball and get better screens to get a better shot.
Missouri State going to hold for 1. 14 seconds to go here in the third. Binhar with a nice third quarter thus far. She's got 12 from the elbow. That's too strong. Battled underneath. Wachiku going to get called for the offensive foul. That will be her third personal.
Valpo continues to do a really good job on Jackson and Wachiku, but obviously Binhar has gone off this quarter, and Calip continues to be strong.
Foul in the backcourt as Mariah White will get called for the reach-in. It's only the team fourth here in the quarter. 1.7 seconds remaining here in the third. Frederick will let it fly from just outside half court. That comes up empty, and that'll mark the end of the third quarter. So a big third quarter. Experience hoops in the heartland. Valpo in the midst of a nice run to end that third quarter, Coach, as they, I think, hit 4 of their last 5, but outscored in that conference, or in that quarter rather, 27-11, and Missouri State has opened up a 19-point lead.
Yeah, Missouri State 12 points off of turnovers, 12 points in the paint. 4 second chance points and 9 fast break points, and they opened this game up here in the third quarter.
Missouri State basketball. Binhar with a great third quarter, hit 3 threes in that quarter to stretch it to 19 as Calip hits one to begin the fourth quarter.
And that's another thing. Missouri State's passing the basketball. Valpo only with 5 assists and 18 turnovers, so you know that's not a good statistic. And 2 of those 5 are Shea Frederick, so not a lot of flow offensively for Valparaiso. But we've seen Valpo come back before. Do they have it in them to come back from 22? I guess we'll see.
Well, they've been known to come back from double-digit ball games over the course of the season. A little bit different animal here tonight, playing the second-best team stat-wise in the Missouri Valley.
Yep.
Of course, you see Valpo's 5 of 8 wins have come back from double-digit deficits. 15 comebacks of 10-plus under Coach Mary Evans. This club very, very gritty, no question.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they're so exciting to watch, because at any time they could look horrible, you know, offensively, and then all of a sudden explode for like 20 points in 3 minutes.
There's Grace. She'll let it rip, and she'll hit it, and there you go. Grace White hits one. That's her first 3 tonight.
They're 4 for 14. Prior to that, just 3 threes, and Frederick had 2 of them.
Don't forget, we'll also be naming the Lakeshore Bone and Joint Players of the Game. That'll be coming up at the completion of this one. 19 the lead for Missouri State as Shea tries to take it hard to the bucket. Left-hand runner partially blocked, and there's Binhar with it again for Missouri State. Binhar with 8 rebounds.
Yeah, Binhar, great defensive job just by getting up, staying straight up, and challenging the Frederick shot to at the basket.
Wilson shuffled the shoes. Turnover by Missouri State, and that's their 12th. Beacons take back possession. Calip gets a breather with 8:16 to go here in the ball game.
That's just the Bears' second turnover this half.
Yeah, they've taken care of the basketball, no question. White again for Valpo. To Gunn. Corner pocket 3 from Pitts is up and good. Elise Pitts, not known for her 3-point shooting, only averaging a couple of points per game, gets that one to go. And that calls for a timeout by Missouri State with 7:55 to go in this one. 16-point lead for Missouri State. But Valpo creeping back with a finish after this.
Assuming all NBA players want rings, It's like assuming State Farm doesn't have great rates.
Why do we have coasters if nobody gonna use them?
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
You work hard to take care of your home. Save money and time on your next home improvement project. Apply for a low-rate home equity loan or line of credit from Allegis Credit Union. Applying for a loan is easy with Allegis. Visit allegis.org to apply online. Our team will move you through the application process so you can get to work on your project. Visit allegis.org to learn more. Allegis Credit Union, working hard for Northwest Indiana since 1966.
You see that? How you can see every delicious speck of sesame, garlic herb, and Parmesan? That is what flavored crust should look like. Crust so irresistible that if pizza could eat pizza, it would be this pizza. Can you imagine how good a pizza would have to be for it to eat itself? Talk about irresistible. Now get an irresistible meal deal for any budget starting at just $5.99.
Hungry? Howie! Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
The Valley on ESPN is brought to you by Culver's, proud supporter of Valpo Athletics. Check out the Valpo official Instagram story for your scoop and score coupon today. Alongside the Hall of Famer Renee Turpa and company, my name is Brian Jennings. Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in, Missouri State had a 16-12 lead at the end of one. Valpo outscored Missouri State in that second quarter, Coach, but still trailed at the break 22-19. But in the third quarter, it was all Missouri State as they outscored Valpo 27-11 to open up a 19-point lead. And here with 8 minutes remaining, the lead down to 16.
Yeah, a little bit of life in Valpo. Hit 2 threes here and forced the Bears timeout to reset their offense right now. Valpo hoping to get on a big run and cut into this lead, maybe get it to 10 or under in at the midway point right now. And it's a little bit under 8 minutes to go in the fourth.
Bears basketball after that timeout off the high-low entry inside. Abigail Jackson gets the bucket. And a tough pass inside, that high-low vertical entry pass, very difficult, but nice pass inside, and Jackson with her sixth.
Yeah, I mean, Valpo had a person in front, but she just wasn't close enough. They've been able to throw it over top. Olivia Brown gives up about 5 or 6 inches on that.
And off that turnover, Bears with the basketball.
Yeah.
And an offensive foul. We're going to go the other way. Nice job right there, Maya Dunson. And that's what Dunson does for this club. The dirty work. Takes the charges, hits the floor, rebounds, can hit occasional three. Nice play right there.
Right. I know Dunson and Pitts, it was like a double charge, granted to both. They wall. That's the meaning of walling up defensively.
Yeah, no question. White hits it again. Grace White with her sixth. White with a solid performance here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Valpo needs to string together a couple of stops here, maybe be able to hit a couple more perimeter shots and get this down to 10 points.
Mariah White off the stop and pop. That's no good. There's Pitt skying high with a rebound for Valpo. Beacon's trying to get back in this one. Here's Gunn inside. On top, Dunson. Thought about it. Now she'll put it hard to the bucket. Grace finds Brown. She'll try it on top. Good look is up and in. Olivia Brown hits it. She's got 8. Beacon's heating up from behind the arc. Lead down to 12. 6:17 remaining.
A couple stops and you breathe life back into Valparaiso's offense. One more stop, they would have an opportunity to get this to single digits.
There's Mariah White. Now to Binhar, 8 to shoot. Binhart takes that screen from Jackson. On top, Wilson's shot will be short, and that's also a shot clock violation. Beacon's doing on the defensive end.
They really are. Great. Elise Pitts has really brought a lot of energy into this game, and she's played really well. She's made some no errors. She's made a couple great defensive stops, and obviously hit that big three to start this rally.
Yeah, Pitts just over 7 minutes of action here tonight. There's Gunn in the corner.
Trying to isolate Gunn to be able to take it to the hole.
Now Grace comes and gets it. Nearly a turnover. Dunston on the pump fake. Her step through, no good.
Wow. Missed opportunity for Valpo to get it down to 10.
Yeah, you mentioned they need to be at 10 by about the 5-minute mark in the middle of a 6-0 run, the last 143. In the last 3.5, Coach, Valpo on a nice run, 12-2 Beacons.
Yep. The Bears with a little bit of weave action, able to lay it in, be able to get this back to 14.
Yeah, White now, one of 3 players in double figures, was able to turn the corner, Coach, and get downhill. As mentioned, back to 14, Beacons have it. There's Dunston. Now to Brown. Olivia looking for a teammate. Now she'll take it herself. Got caught underneath, and they'll throw it out of bounds.
Oh, that was unfortunate because she had Wilson on her. Wilson with 4 fouls. Really one of the only Bears in foul trouble. Wachiku has 3, but Valpo with Ernest with 4.
Beacons working with it. White has it. She's got 11 on the night. Again, she'll turn the corner and get downhill and gets that one to go. Give her 13.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row where White's been able to turn the corner right and get a layup.
Back up to 16 as we approach the 4-minute mark left in the game. Turnover number 21 now by the Beacons.
Boy, the last 2 opportunities. A missed layup by Dodson. And then 2 turnovers the last 3 possessions.
Binhart. Wide open from 24. That shot from Wilson is no good. Brown has the rebound as we peek and at some scores. A couple of finals in the Missouri Valley tonight. Southern Illinois all over Loyola. And in the 4th quarter, it's a tight one. Evansville and Drake battling. That 3 no good by White. Binhart on the push for Missouri State.
Valpo would really like to see Drake lose that game. That would assure Valpo of a 6th-place finish because Drake's the only one that could pass them.
Calip on the pull-up gets it. She's got 22 tonight. And Valpo will take the timeout, 30-second timeout. With 3:19 remaining in the ball game, Missouri State up 60-42. The Bears looking for victory number 23 on the year, looking to go 14-3 in the conference. And Valpo trying to get over the 500 mark in conference play. Beacons coming in 10-17 on the year. And again, if you're just tuning in, Missouri State led by 4 at the end of 1. The lead was 3 at the break, but a big 3rd quarter where Missouri State outshot Valpo 27-11 to take a 19-point lead through 3. Here in the 4th quarter, there you see your score. 60-42 late in this one. Time now for the Lakeshore Bone and Joint Player of the Game, Brice Calip, the player of the game for Missouri State. And of course, it's Shea Frederick for Valparaiso. Frederick tonight leading the charge for the Beacons. And there you see the stat line for these two here tonight.
Yeah,
Brice Calip with another big evening, Coach.
Outstanding, 17 points. When no one else was scoring for the Bears, Calip was early on, had 11 in the first half, 17 in the game, but then you give her 4 rebounds and 4 assists, huge for the Bears. And of course, Frederick does what Frederick does. If she scores the ball, she distributes the ball.
White on the miss, gets it to with the putback, and she can't get it to go, but she is fouled, and she'll head to the line to shoot 2.
That's the first free throws of this half for Valparaiso. They were 3 for 3 in the first half, and this is the first free throw. Let's see, well, it'll be 17 minutes.
Grace hits the first. White, 80% from the line on the season, 16 double-figure games in her career. First in the conference at steals. Hits them both. Had 9 the last time these two clubs hooked up. Lead down to 16, coming up on the 3-minute mark remaining in the ball game. Calip works across the timeline now for Missouri State. As Wilson finds it, she'll take it to the bucket. She's going to be fouled. It's going to be Grace White, and that'll be number 4 for her.
Well, that handoff to Wilson has worked wonders for them, and she takes the corner because, of course, you're not going to help off of the shooter in the corner, and she was able to turn the corner. This is 3 possessions in a row. Wilson got 2 layups and now a foul with an opportunity to score 2.
So the Overland Park, Kansas native misses number 1. The senior gets 1 more, averaging 11 and 5 coming in, shooting 81% from the line. At 18 versus Indiana State. Double figures, 17 of 21 games this year. How about this? 13 and 13 the last time these two clubs met.
Yeah, obviously a proficient free throw shooting team as a whole.
Yeah, 74% from the line on the year. 17-point advantage, under 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. SIU comes to town to take on the Beacons. That'll be a Saturday afternoon 1 o'clock tip. And a special day as they'll be honoring the seniors here on the Valparaiso women's basketball team prior to the game.
Right. 3, Weinman, White, and Morrison.
A traveling violation against Paige Rocca, who's checked in. Now, that's the 14th turnover tonight for Missouri State.
I think with this win, the Bears have solidified their double bye. I believe the team behind them are 2 games behind. So they needed the 1 win on this weekend to be able to get the double bye. Valpo needs either 1 win or Drake to lose 1 game.
Right. Wyman to the bucket. Nice window shot. Gets at the drop. Kerry Wyman now with 7. That's a tough shot right there. Left side of the floor with the right hand up off the glass.
Yeah, she's been really quiet in the second half. She left off in the first half going to the basket.
This Missouri State club, folks, 96 and 15 since December of 2018, which is 7th nationally in total wins since that date, and 7th in win percentage in the NCAA.
Which is why they project them to be an automatic seed no matter what the status of the tournament.
So White gets that to 1 to go. She's got 16 tonight. 1:40 remaining in this one, so Missouri State will pick up the victory here this evening. After Valparaiso battled in the first half, but in the second half, Missouri State taking advantage of some miscues by the Beacons.
Yeah, Beacons just turned the ball over at a high rate, unfortunately for Valpo. Be able to score the ball. 46 points. I don't think that's going to win too many games unless you're a defensive specialist and hold people to under 50, which doesn't happen that often.
Well, this Valpo club averages 62 points per game, and Missouri State 11th in the nation in defense, allowing just under 54 points a game, first in the Missouri Valley, and you see why here tonight.
Right, and they average, actually, Missouri State averages holding teams in the Valley 14 points below their average, which would be, Valparaiso, that would be about 62 points, be around 40.
So the Beacons going to their bench as Ava Interante checks in now for Valparaiso. Katie Byer also into the game for Valpo. And Missouri State clears their bench. Lindsey Byers in now for Missouri State with 1 minute remaining in the ball game. Also in for Valpo, Jada Johnston, the sophomore. She's checked in wearing number 41 for Valparaiso.
At that time, Abby Jackson able to go to the hole on Byers.
Beacons have the basketball. Interante going to drive baseline. Her reverse is no good. Battled underneath, slapped out of bounds. Missouri State going to get it back. Missouri State 5 for their last 7. Valpo 1 of their last 7 from the floor. 38 seconds left in this one. Missouri State with the basketball and the advantage. Mariah White directing traffic just inside the head of the key. That's no good. There's Ernst with a rebound for Valpo.
Valpo just got getting blasted on the glass, 17-2 offensive rebounds. So obviously you can't give up 17 offensive rebounds to another team, that many more chances, and be able to win the game. And Valpo will go down by 20. And the Bears will hold the ball to the end.
So Missouri State comes into Valparaiso tonight, and they pick up the 66-46 victory this evening over Valparaiso. With the victory,